You know, sometimes you think you've weathered a storm and then things go from bad to worse. We found sun and sand, but the beach umbrellas aren't the only shady things for sale on our getaway. ABC's Lindsay Davis is getting a lot more than she bargained for in some ways and a lot less in others.
It's our second day in beautiful Boca Chica in the Dominican Republic. And here at the Don Juan Beach Resort, my team and I are investigating the travel deal we purchased through Groupon. We'd already run into some issues. First, the room.
What is the difference between this room and ours?
Yeah, I didn't notice. Then, the dreaded stain.
That is kind of a problem.
And of course, the persistent salespeople.
Beautiful lady, beautiful.
But here on the beach, things are about to take a more serious turn when Eric is approached by this man, a Beto.
He tried to sell me marijuana and coke first. And then he was like, well, I also have girls here too.
He offered that?
He offered girls, yeah, straight off the bat. He wouldn't give me a cost because it's based on the girl.
The two of you guys should go down there and find out what it costs.
Later on, I'd come to regret that suggestion.
Hola, what's your name? Os. Me, Alberto.
It took a few minutes for them to realize they were being taken away from the hotel. They'd left everything back on the beach. Food, money, Osrin even left his shoes.
Can we bring the girls back to the hotel? Is it okay? Are they going to give us problem in the hotel?
No problem.
How much longer? Donde is
There.
And then, not sure what to expect, they're led into this very dark room, what looks like a bar. And within seconds, young women, 11 of them, file out.
No problem. Okay.
Oz and Eric, very uncomfortable, make a hasty exit. Beto escorted them back.
What's the price for you?
Back on the beach, I was starting to get nervous. It had been almost an hour when I finally spot Eric and Osrin on my flip cam.
What happened?
It was kind of scary.
Later, we talk about how easily they ended up in such a dangerous situation.
It was dark, shady, and
It was
it was bizarre.
very
Like we
shady.
found ourselves in this situation. All of a sudden, it's like, oh.
That's the crazy thing. That if someone does offer you something, you don't think you're going to be,
I mean,
wow,
we
it was
ended
pretty
you know,
wild.
it was the underbelly.
The soliciting didn't stop. That afternoon, I was approached by another broker, Maria, a 20-year veteran. She told me the Don Juan Beach was her office.
How long have you been doing it?
Here?
Yeah.
Ooh, long time.
She tells us it's easy to sneak guests into the room without one of these yellow hotel bracelets. The Don Juan uses them to identify guests and keep visitors out.
You can put it one towel over there, and you can go when she's inside. You take her to the room, and she can stay in the room with the guy all day. She can come out.
Hotel Don Juan?
Yeah, that one.
The next morning, we talked about what we'd seen and heard with the manager.
I'm Lindsay Davis from ABC News. How are you?
First, what was up with our room reservations?
We booked through Groupon, the two of us did, and then our room ended up being actually more expensive than when our friend who booked directly through you. And it said that we also had a junior suite, but we all seem to have the same room. So I was just wondering, is that your responsibility? Is that something we should take up with Groupon?
I really had no answer. We have to look into it.
He tells us space was limited at the resort and says he would gladly compensate us on our next visit. When we contacted Groupon regarding the room rates, they noted that travel prices fluctuate dramatically and that they're always adjusting them. We were also curious about how the hotel deals with prostitutes.
So in the brochure and when I saw online, it shows like a very relaxing beach, very peaceful. But there were people coming and vendors coming and selling all the time, including, for prostitutes.
In this country, the beaches are public. We do have security there together, but the beaches are all public.
Right, so you can't stop people from selling.
I cannot. We don't allow prostitutes in the hotel.
When asked about how they pick their hotels, Groupon replied that they rely on customer feedback and that in the case of the Don Juan, 20 other customers had complained, all of whom were refunded, and they'd removed the hotel from their site. So, a really important takeaway here: before you book any hotel, do your homework. Don't assume the site you're using has done it for you, and know as much as you can about where you're going. It may not be what you bargained for.
Now, Groupon told us that while they removed this hotel from their site, other websites still continue to list it. So if you want to make sure your next vacation doesn't turn out like Lindsay's, you can go to our website at abcnews.com/nightline for tips on booking your next vacation.